Hey there guys, Jake here. Today I'm doing the second episode in my series called Netflix Hidden Gems, where I review movies that are currently on Netflix that you can stream wherever and whenever you want, and it gives me a great opportunity to show off movies that I think deserve a lot more attention to you guys, and I think that I really enjoyed. I hope you guys really enjoy them as well. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of these movies if you do end up checking them out. If you think that they sucked and I'm a pretentious douchebag, let me know in the comment section down below, but try to be a little nice about it. You know, I don't need the hateful comments. It just doesn't do anything to boost my confidence at all. It just tears me down, and that's no fun. But in my first review, I did a review of a movie called Creep, which is a found footage horror film that came out in 2014, starring and directed by Mark Duplass. Check that review out. It'll definitely convince you to watch the movie if you haven't already. If you hated that movie, let me know that you hated it and that you hate me for recommending it, because, you know, maybe it'll keep me from recommending movies like that again. Who knows? So, before I actually review this movie, I would like to start off by saying that this is a very, very foreign film. It has subtitles, so it's not in English. If you don't like reading during your movies, you're not going to like this movie. It's also in black and white, so there's not any color to it, and it's a very subtle film, just like many other foreign horror films. That's the main distinction between American and foreign horror films. American horror films are really cliched, and they throw a lot at you at every single second of the film, and there's no subtlety. They feel the need to explain every single aspect of the film to you in dialogue or in other aspects. This movie is very subtle unless you figure things out for yourself, which I really enjoy about foreign horror films. It's just a nice break from the American way that things are done, especially in the horror genre. Now, the synopsis of the film goes as follows. In an Iranian town called Bad City, which is just plagued with death and lonesomeness, you have a group of people who are just completely unaware that they are being stalked by a vampire. Now, before I saw this film, I'd really never thought of vampires as being that scary. I always thought them in a comedic way. They never really seemed that scary. Maybe that's because I watched Twilight and other crappy films with vampires in them. But this movie showed off that vampires can be pretty scary, and I think that this movie does an excellent job of portraying how disturbing and creepy vampires can be. Now, there's only one vampire in this film, and it's a girl who is in either her late teens or she's in her early 20s. She looks very young in this film, and she just stalks people at night. That's what she does. She's lonesome. She doesn't have anything else to do. So why not kill a few people, huh? Yeah, pretty disturbing, actually. One night she runs into Aresh, who is our male lead in this film, and he is coming from a party where he tried to pick up a girl, and she totally turned him down. He gets drunk out of his mind, and he's portraying a vampire. He's actually going to this Halloween party dressed as a vampire, and on his way home, he runs into an actual vampire. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything else about the rest of this plot, but there's one thing I wanted to point out, and it's this one scene in this film where the vampire woman, she runs into a little boy on the street, and it's just a very creepy, disturbing scene that sent chills down my spine, and I've remembered it ever since I watched that movie for the first time. Excellent, excellent scene that you guys will remember, and you'll understand it if you actually watch the movie, which I strongly recommend that you do. One of the best things this movie has going for it is the atmosphere. The atmosphere in this film is perfectly well done. It is so perfectly executed with the cinematography, the directing style, the way it's stylized, the acting, and just the writing in this film. Just all blend together to create this very disturbing and creepy atmosphere that I think adds an extra element to this film, which makes it even more of a pleasure for viewing. Another thing that I like about this movie, as I said previously, this movie is very subtle in the way that it does things, in the way that the events unfold in the story, and I really like subtlety in my films, especially my horror films. I love all the old retro horror films like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street. They were very subtle in the way that they did things. Nowadays, things aren't so subtle, and I really wish that we would revert back to the old way, because I really like that foreign horror films stick to their guns, and I've been doing it the same way for a while now. I like change, but in horror films, I like when there's a lot more subtlety than there is, just stuff being thrown at you left and right every single second of the thing where you can't even catch your breath to understand what's going on. Now, that's all I'm going to say about this movie. If you want to hear more from me, you should definitely hit that subscribe button. Make sure to like this video. Also, I'll put a link in the description down below for my episode 1 of Netflix Hidden Gems, where I review Creep. Check that out. Check this movie out. If you check this movie out, if you like it, let me know in the comment section. If you hate it and you hate me for recommending it, also let me know about that. Try to be a little nice about it, you know, boost my confidence up a little bit. Other than that, I am out.